Hello, BookTube. Cold day. Third day of minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So, bit chilly. And this is a drafty old house, so it can be a bit chilly in here, too. This is Bookcase 15, and it's Shelf 2, Part 1. I know it's going to get complicated, and that's just because it's such an odd bookcase, which I've mentioned before. But a lot of my really fun stuff is located here, especially if you're, well, it's a mix, but especially if you like sci-fi and fantasy, there's quite a bit of that up here. And this is my little reading area at the top of the stairs. So I'll start here with J.E.A. Taylor's The Tolkien Companion. This is a just what it says it is. It's St. Martin's Press, New York, and this is from 1976. So if you want to know what Forn was, the name by which Tom Bombadil was known to the dwarvish folk. So there you go. So you could look up various things alphabetically. And then to go with this is a similar type volume. The Complete Guide to Middle-earth, From the Hobbit to the Silmarillion, by Robert Foster, and it's for all readers of J.R.R. Tolkien, it says right up there. And the Brother Hildebrandt cover there. So it has every character, every place, everything. Here is truly a master key to Middle-earth. And of course, that was Valentines Books, a Del Rey book. And this was from originally came out in 71, and this one is 1978. And the Hildebrandts, Greg and Tim, it says here, also do the J.R.R. Tolkien calendar, and that was true. We used to always see their calendars around. So, similar thing, alphabetical. Then, come out to my copy of the Silmarillion. Our fellow booktuber Lucacius is a big fan of this volume. This one here is Houghton Mifflin Company, Boston, 1977, and this is the first printing of the first American edition. The birthday boy on the back, 126 years today, I believe. So, Silmarillion. Then, we got J.R.R. Tolkien, The Children of Hurin, edited by Christopher Tolkien. This is one of those Alan Lee covers with a lot of the Alan Lee artwork in it, which I really, really enjoy. I enjoy a lot of the different artists who've dealt with Tolkien over the years. Let's see here. Then we have really sort of a beat-up old volume, Tolkien, Tree and Leaf, Smith of Wootton Major, and the Homecoming of Beornoth. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it's a little, it's Unwin Books, and this was collected, this is, was, it looks like this whole thing came out in 75 and it had been reset. So they must have had some issues with it. So it does contain his famous work on fairy stories. And a good volume. Wouldn't mind replacing though. And here's an old hardback of The Hobbit I had lying around. There's been so many beautiful copies made, there's probably not much reason for me to keep this one, and I have others. This one is, looks like the 36th printing from the 1966 original. So some of the illustrations are fun, but yeah, we'll have to revisit that one. Then here's Collins Modern Classics, and it's well, here we go. Here's the Fellowship of the Ring. I don't know, for some reason I just like these. Here's the two towers. And then here is the Return of the King. Yeah, for some reason I like those covers. Who was it that... I don't see a notice stating who did the covers. I'm sure it's on here somewhere, but I'm not going to take up all your time by looking for it. So that was some Tolkien stuff. There's still more to go on another shelf. And then we get to a writer I really enjoyed. This is David Eddings. I really like the Belgariad, and I've read it multiple times, and I don't have the set. But I do have this set that I have not read. I managed to pick it up, and I'm going to read it, hopefully this year. And I have had, when I book hauled it, some comments from people who are Eddings fans, and they gave me some good insights into some of his other things, so I appreciate it. This is book 1 of the Silmarillion, Guardians of the West. This is a Del Rey book, Valentines Books, New York, and this came out in 1987. And it's the first edition, but it looks to me like it's the second printing. And here's the Kingdoms of the West in the Angarax. A little map there. I love maps. And then we have here book 2 of the Silmarillion, The Kings of Murgos. And this... again, David Eddings, the Del Rey book, Valentines Books, New York. And this is 88, and this is the first edition, first printing, unlike the first one there. And then volume 3 of the Silmarillion, Demon Lord of Coranda. Isn't that a great cover? Look at the expression on the juggler's face. And that, again, David Eddings, a Del Rey book, Valentines Book, New York. And this is September of 88. You can hear the cats just racing up and down the stairs. I think the cold does that. They get all feisty. And then book 4 of the Silmarillion, Sorceress of Shiva. It's a very different looking cover, isn't it? I'm not sure I'm into that one, but that's all right. Del Rey book, Valentines Books, New York, first edition, December 1989. There's a map. I think the other one had one too. I didn't even think to show it. I don't see any illustrations really, which is fine. And then book 5 of the Silmarillion, The Seeress of Quell. So when I find, and these were all used, when I find a set like this, and David Eddings, Del Rey book, Valentines Books, New York, first edition, May 91. When I find a set like this, and I get them all, then I'm much more likely to sit down and to work my way through them, because I don't have to worry about hunting down more books. And then in the same haul, and I think it was the same haul, I thought these all went together. And when I did the haul, some commentators, and I realized when I did it that they didn't. And some of the commentators, some of the people commenting, told me about each of the different series. So this is book 1 of the Tamuli. It's Domes of Fire, David Eddings. So volume 1, book 1, excuse me, of the Tamuli. Again, a Del Rey book, Valentines Book, New York. This is the January 1993, first edition. Domes of Fire. And okay, there's a land Tamul here. So let's see how we're doing on that. Then we do have book 2 of the Tamuli. Look at that cover. A lot of action going on there. So we did get book 2. David Eddings, The Shining Ones. And this is the first edition, September 93. And then I thought this was, because it said book 3, so you see you got 1 and 2 of the Tamui. And then I grabbed book, and I'm not sorry I grabbed it because I'll try to find the other ones, but this book 3 is actually for another series called the Elenium, and this is the Sapphire Rose. And totally different series. And this, here's a map. So yeah, you would be starting a little late on this one, and this kind of series I like to read in order. So that was some David Eddings, some J.R.R. Tolkien, and that was the 15th bookcase, Shelf 2, Part 1. Thank you, BookTube.